Good evening. Once again, I've pressed go live and it went live. This stuff's pretty cool, right? Um, if you're here, thanks for being here. If you're not here, but you're watching the recorded version, then thanks for watching the recorded version. And if you're not watching the recorded version and you're not here live, you've got no idea what I'm saying. So it really doesn't matter anyway. Anyway, tonight, what am I looking for from this session? I've spent many years, decades, trying to encourage people to get active and trying to encourage people to get active outdoors. And this for me started when I was sort of very young, 17, 18, and getting involved with different programs and making things work, and I've got involved with programs on regional, national and international scales to get people active outdoors. And through my books as well, I wrote my books to encourage kids in particular and their families, because if you get kids to do something, their families will follow, to encourage all of those people to get outdoors and active. So I wrote two books, The Explorer's Guide for Kids, The Ultimate Explorer's Guide for Kids and The Ultimate Map Book for Kids. And both books have been printed in 20-something languages and published all over the world, and they've sold very well. And that's encouraged kids to get active outdoors. And that's important. For the last 18 months, I've been a Get Outside champion with the Ordnance Survey, which is a mapping organisation right here in the UK. And as part of that, I've kind of committed to helping other people to get active outdoors. Now, I've spent my life working with the harder to reach populations, whether that was in my younger years with sort of health and fitness for people that don't ordinarily be active, to more recently in the last decade, I guess, breaking down barriers to education, helping children to get into education that wouldn't otherwise have access to it all over the world. And it's similar. I found myself doing a similar thing with this Get Outside thing. I want to help everybody take part in outdoor activity. Those people that wouldn't not necessarily think to do it, those people that don't have the motivation to do it, and those people that find that the barriers to outdoor space are insurmountable in some cases. Now, with your help over time, I would like to explore, discuss, and address some of the barriers which are preventing people from getting active outdoors. Some of those barriers include, things like access through space. They live too far away. There's not enough there. Some of it comes down to cost. And when it comes down to cost, that's quite interesting, because just this last weekend, I got involved in a conversation which is about the cost barrier to getting outdoors and what's preventing people from getting outside. And some of the things I hadn't even considered. You've got travel expenses if they don't live near an outdoor space. You've got parking fees. You've got some people have this perception that they've got to join clubs, have different insurances and things. Some people do, some people don't. And then a whole conversation that rambled on for hours around kit, and that conversation's not died yet. We took it virtually on a virtual platform, WhatsApp, and it rumbles on. And kit is something that's kind of, I talk about a lot, access to kit, and it's quite timely. If you just want to get outdoors and do stuff, then you can do it with an absolute minimal kit. The more specialized you want to become, then obviously you've got to invest in the equipment to do it. So if you want a paddleboard, you've got to buy a paddleboard or hire one. If you want to kayak, canoe, whatever it happens to be, you've got to buy a specialist kit. But on its purest form, just to get active outdoors, what do we really need? Outdoor equipment and the costs associated with outdoor equipment. I've got some notes here, sorry. Just to keep me on form, outdoor equipment and the costs associated with having the right gear is one of my many bugbears. And it kind of rolls around a range of subjects, from what is considered to be essential kit to perceived pressure to purchase top ticket brands, the stuff that costs a lot of money. Now, part of that high ticket brand perception stems from influencers like me and many other people that are out there, but they kind of categorize some kit as this is for beginners. When does a beginner stop being a beginner? That's the first thing. When does a beginner stop being a beginner? If you go into my kit store, which is pretty much all around me right now, you'll find kit that's low cost. Does that make me a beginner? No, I don't think so. I think I've earned my stripes in the outdoors to say I'm not exactly a beginner. let me turn that light off. It's got a funny shadow. Yeah, that's better. So, we've got to be careful of that. Nobody likes to be thought a beginner, even if they are a beginner. There's a whole perception that kind of goes around that. Excuse me. And then that kind of goes on to kind of what is essential kit. Now, in my view, essential kit is the kit that we all need and primarily for safety and security. So when it comes to investment, when people ask me about kit, I always say the first thing you need to invest in, where you need to invest the heaviest, is in any equipment that manages and ensures the safety and security of you and your team. That's where you invest heaviest. Safety and security of you and your team has got to be an absolute top priority. Cascading down from that, the next kind of level of investment, where I say to spend as much as you possibly can, is on equipment that manages and reduces the likelihood of injury. So within that, you're looking at primarily the kit that looks after your feet and your back, so your boots and your pack. Make sure that you invest in boots that are suitable for purpose, are comfortable, they fit you properly. When you're buying your boots, think about the terrain that you're going to be covering, the environment that you'll be in, the weather conditions that you'll be facing, how heavy you are, and how heavy the load is that you'll be carrying, and the duration of each trip. There's no point wearing light boots if you're going to be mountain climbing in Scotland in the middle of winter carrying a 170-pound pack. It's just ridiculous. So make sure you take, that was a bit of an extreme example. So make sure that you take all of those things into account when you consider buying boots. Similarly with a backpack, a backpack can make or break a trip. It really can. A backpack, rucksack, day sack, whatever you tend to call it. On one level, your pack can help to protect the kit that's inside it. That's valuable kit. You don't want to lose it. On another level, if your pack fits correctly and it offers a level of on-the-move adjustability, if you've got everything adjusted properly for you, that's going to reduce the likelihood of injuries. Especially one thing that I talk about often when I see people in the field, and I do try and help, is people refuse to use the waist belt and the sternum strap on their rucksack. Right, the waist belt and the sternum strap on the rucksack is there to maintain, maintain load stability, and without that, the pack's shifting all the time. And every time it shifts, there's a greater chance that something's going to go wrong. Anyway, I could go off on a tangent and talk about rucksacks and boots all day, but all I want to do from this session is just open that conversation and make us think more about what we all do as an outdoor community that could be creating barriers, real or perceived, normally perceived barriers, which are preventing people from joining us and experiencing the benefits that we all do, from physical and mental health to reconnecting with the planet that we live on. So we need to think about that. What I'd like you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is just drop a comment below if you're watching this video in replay, and just tell me what you think are some of the barriers preventing people from getting active outdoors. But don't just give me a pile of problems. I would like you, I'd appreciate it if you could give me the problem and maybe suggest a solution or two, and let's work towards making this happen. Right, I'm going to go. It's a friend's 50th birthday, so I'm about to go and get my shoes on and go out to a restaurant for dinner. So tonight's session was short and sweet, 10 minutes. So if you're here, thank you very much. If you're not here, thank you very much. Thank you very much anyway. And as always, whatever you're doing, be good, be brilliant, be awesome. And if I can help you in any way, shape or form, then get in touch. Let's have a conversation and make good stuff happen.